Hello, everyone. We are live. We are live. Just going to give it a couple of seconds for some people to join. But I hope everyone's good, first of all. So you'll see it in the title already, the cost of being an entrepreneur. So I want to go into a bit of just real and raw updates of, how it is kind of be on a day-to-day basis at the minute, how I'm living. So I want to go into it. I'm just going to be real transparent with the journey in general, because I feel like it's so important to be transparent. And I want to just touch on it. So before I do, first of all, if you're listening live or if you're on the replay, comment below, and hopefully this brings some value to you guys, because here's the thing that I want to touch on. So first things first, I want to talk about the cost of being an entrepreneur, being a business owner. There are costs to pay. So first point is we're being lied to. Without me swearing, we're being lied to on social media. And sometimes I'm to blame for it as well a little bit, because everyone likes to post. This is the things that I've noticed. Everyone likes to post the gloss or the good bits of entrepreneur, or the good times, yeah. But no one wants to talk about the struggles. No one wants to talk about the reality of the matter. So being a business owner, being an entrepreneur, being a businessman, and hopefully you guys who listen to this will probably be able to resonate with this as well. There's a very good chance you're going to have more bad days than the good days being a business owner, being an entrepreneur. It's just a fact of the reality. And now I feel it's so important to be transparent, because yes, we're doing very well. I conduct myself in a very good way. I know how to be professional. I know how to be competent. I know how to be listening and understanding. But the stuff that happens in the background, now I believe needs to be come to light and just shown transparently. This is what's going to help build a better understanding of the audience. Everyone of you guys are looking. I know guaranteed business people watching this will be able to resonate. So first point is the fact that we're being lied to on social media. People like to post the glass and the good and what's expected versus the reality of the matter. And I'll gladly come on and tell you what it is. So yeah, the reality is this. If you are looking to be an aspiring entrepreneur, if you're trying to become a business owner and you want to live life on your terms, well, trust me, you're going to have to put in the work first of all. So main reason for this video, I was going to do it last night, but yes, I was way too tired and I didn't want to come across in a wrong way, even though it's just raw and transparent. But I'll tell you what it is anyway. So yesterday, for example, traveling from different cities, and I must have left my house at 9 a.m. Got back about 9:30 last night. So on the road all day. These are the expectations. This is the reality of living an entrepreneurial lifestyle. So a cost of living this is, naturally, I couldn't see my family. I couldn't see my missus, I couldn't see my kids. So, this is just a reality, and this is what I have to do pretty much day to day. So I want to put it across for anyone who's aspiring entrepreneur or business owner, be prepared to put in the work, because you can know it all. If you are not willing to apply and put in the actual work and output, do not expect the results that you want, because everyone has a vision. And again, this is where the expectation and the reality of the things are two completely different things. Everyone has a vision and a goal and a reality of where they want to be, the lifestyle they want to be living. But the middle bit that people miss out, the relevant work and action, is completely underrated and undermined. So what I will tell you is a cost of being an entrepreneur. People underrate the hard work so much. Building a business and living your life, because everyone's got a life to live at the end of the day. People have families and stuff like that. People might want a social life. You will have to sacrifice those things, and it's going to take you more work than ever you would have ever thought to get in a position where you can live life on your terms and in the way that you want. So be very, very aware of that. These are just some of the things that I'm doing this live, but this will be recorded and going on YouTube and stuff. But these are some of the things that I've noticed living it day to day. It's definitely not easy. Sacrifice will need to be made. And as a result, in my personal life, of just being fully transparent, as a result, I'm not able to see my family as much. I'm not able, as much as I'd like to. Now, let me just throw it out there as well. Moving on to the next point is, I'm not asking for no sympathy or anything like that, because I chose this path. I chose to do this because this is what I love. I choose this every single day out of the week rather than going to a job 9 to 5 that I hated just to get a paycheck every week. So I choose this. I require no sympathy. I live this. This is what I'm all about. I've been an entrepreneur since a young boy in different areas, right? So the cost of being an entrepreneur, just be very aware that you will have to sacrifice. If you've got a family around you, be aware that you will have to sacrifice, which leads me on to the next point, is having a really good support system. So luckily I have a fantastic support system around me. People, my partner, people who she understands exactly what it takes, because I live this now. I've lived this for years, right? She understands what it takes. She understands what the sacrifices are and what needs to be done. She understands the vision and the work that needs to be put in, right? So having yourself a support system is massive. You will need that. And if you don't, that's going to cost you massively, because you're going to be stressed. Your mindset's not going to be right. So which leads me on to the next point. So hopefully you take some value from this so far. If you do, feel free to comment. I really appreciate your support. But these, just to summarize, these are things that I've had to go through and live. Like, you can't talk, I wouldn't be able to talk like this if I didn't live it, if I didn't live the message, right? So because I've lived this for years now it's a case of getting out of my comfort zone and being able to tell this. And as a result, guess what? I feel fulfilled by helping others. So hopefully this helps, right? So yeah, moving on to the next point. You have a support system. If you don't, it's going to cost you massively. So you need to have the right mindset. And if you don't have the right mindset, it's going to cost you massively, because it's stressful. It's very stressful. So you need to get up with a vision, a goal, and you need to have people around you that support you, which I've touched on. And to do that, you need to be able to support yourself. So you need to be around the right people. That's the next point. And if you don't think like that, because you're the average of the 5 people you're around, there's that saying that goes around. But if you're not around the right people, and you're around, for example, negativity all day, every day, but you're trying to run a business, you're trying to grow, you're trying to progress, you're trying to get where you want to be, by default, if you're around the negative people, you will be the average of that. So just take that as a priority. That is massive. So you need to be getting around the right people who are on the right wavelength, think the same way, all about growth and progress. And guess what happens after time? When you're around people like that, you start to become that, and therefore go after it. So it's absolutely massive. So hopefully that helps. So look at that in your own lives. Who am I around? What can I be around? More positive people, growth driven, etc. And then you become it. It's so funny how it works, but it's so true. So the next point that I wanted to touch on, I'm going to keep this short because I appreciate your time, but I want to keep this short. You might have just seen a cat on the screen, which is hilarious. That's because I had a call coming through. 1 minute. We're live. We're just going to keep rolling it. So next point that I want to touch on is you need to be consistently pressure testing yourself. So what I mean by that is, you need to make sure that you can handle an overload of stress, because the cost of being an entrepreneur is an increased volume of stress. And if you can't handle it, then you're going to crack. So mindset's key, but you also need to be able to handle the massive amounts of pressures and stress that come with running a business. So to do that, to ensure that you can get to that, you need to be acting now in different areas, putting pressure on yourself so you can become more resilient. If you become more resilient in other subject matters and in business, but it could be personal, it could be health, fitness. If you just pressure yourself with multiple things at the same time, resilience is grown. And so when it comes to certain areas in business, if it's just 1 or 2 stressful things, guess what? You can handle it because you've been tried and tested. Diamonds are pressured, and that's how they're refined and made. This is the exact same process. So pressure test yourself, guys. And if you do that, when it comes to the small day-to-day tasks, you're not going to be phased. I'm around people, some of my clients and things like that. You know, a small issue will come on their hands, be put on their plate, and they're almost ready to crack, right? This is my advice to you. Put yourself in testing positions more often. And when those small things, when you have perspective, they're absolutely nothing. They get dealt with very quickly. That's the way I see things. So when pressure comes, when tests are coming in your daily life, you've already been tried and tested, so you can deal with things so much quicker. It's no longer about being negative and down on the negatives and the problems. It's all about solution. This is how business owners work, right? This is how entrepreneurs live their life. It's not about the hurdle or obstacle. It's about growing and finding a solution. This is the massive difference, not dwelling on the problems, right? And this is all about growth, but it's about being around the right people. This is what it all comes down to. It's about having the knowledge, because if you don't know, you don't know. So if you don't know how to react, if you haven't been instructed and guided by your people around you how to live your life and how to deal with situations, you're not going to know. So you're just going to act by default, which is usually negative. So you need to be around the right people. You need to have a right mindset, and because you're going to be finding as an entrepreneur or business owner, it's going to cost you massive if you don't think on a higher wavelength. So there's that one. So yeah, I touched on it. All these things I have to live on a day-to-day basis, and I'm absolutely fine with it because I've grown as a person through the refining process. And this is the main reason for this video, is to tell you guys to now go through the refining process yourselves. If you're not, and if you aren't, start thinking what you can do to be more refined. How can you deal with problems better? How can you be more solution focused instead of problem negative? Because ultimately it doesn't serve you, right? So think about that, guys. Other than that, I have a support system. I asked for no sympathy. I signed up for this, and I absolutely love being an entrepreneur, but I just want to be fully transparent with the life I have to live and offer some help and value that you guys might take who are aspiring entrepreneurs. So I hope that's been of value, guys. I know it's been quite long, but hopefully it's been good value. Feel free to drop your business name below. Let's do a bit of promoting. I'm happy to, promote your guys' business as well. You've listened to the end, so put your business name, put your Facebook page, and link it below, and I'll be happy to link. Other than that, hope you took value. Have a fantastic day, and always be progressing, always be growing. See you on the next video.